There's a belief older than the town itself, older than the roads, older than the settlers who came and changed everything. The Seneca people believed the water of Canandaigua Lake could heal. Not in a mystical way, not in a drink this and you'll live forever way. Something quieter, deeper. They said the lake was different, that the water carried something, that people who came to the shore sick would leave stronger, people with pain would find relief, people with broken spirits would find peace. They called the lake the chosen spot, and they weren't the only ones who noticed. When settlers arrived in the 1800s, they heard the stories. They saw the Seneca bringing their sick to the water's edge. They watched families travel for days just to reach the lake. And soon, the settlers started doing the same. There are old accounts of people coming to Canandaigua for cures, skin conditions that cleared after bathing in the lake, joint pain that eased after soaking, fevers that broke after a night by the shore. Was it the cold water, the minerals, the clean air? No one knew. But the stories spread. In the late 1800s, Canandaigua became a destination, not just for the beauty, for the healing. People came from Rochester, from Buffalo, from New York City. They stayed in hotels on the lake. They bathed in the water every morning. Some stayed for weeks. Some came back every summer. There's a story about a woman from Albany who arrived in a wheelchair. She had been ill for years. Doctors had given up. She came to Canandaigua as a last resort. Every morning, her family carried her to the water. Every evening, they carried her back. After 3 weeks, she walked to the shore on her own. Another story tells of a Civil War veteran who came home with wounds that wouldn't heal. He went to the lake out of desperation. He soaked his legs in the cold water every day for a month. By the end of the summer, his wife wrote to their family that he was walking without pain for the first time in years. Were these stories real? Were they exaggerated? No one knows, but the belief persisted, and the Seneca never stopped believing. The elders said the lake had a spirit, not a ghost, not a monster, a presence, something that watched over the water and gave it power. They said the healing only worked if you came with respect, if you came with gratitude, if you came with a pure heart. But they also warned that the lake didn't give without taking. The water could heal, but it could also claim. People who disrespected the lake, who took more than they needed, who came with greed in their hearts. They didn't always come back. There's a legend about a wealthy man from Rochester who came to the lake and filled bottles with the water. He planned to sell it. He told everyone it was his idea, his business, his profit. The next morning, his boat was found floating empty near Squaw Island. He was never seen again. The Seneca weren't surprised. The water gives and the water takes. That's the balance. That's the way it's always been. Today, Canandaigua Lake is still beautiful. People still come to swim, to boat, to fish. They don't talk about the healing much anymore. It's just a lake now, just a place to spend a summer day. But if you go early in the morning, when the mist is still on the water, you might see them. People standing at the edge, not swimming, not fishing, just standing. Hands in the water, eyes closed, quiet. They still believe. And maybe that's the real healing. Not the minerals, not the cold water. The belief, the hope. The idea that a place can take something broken and make it whole again. The Seneca knew, the settlers learned.